What is up, people? BP here, and welcome back to the channel. So today, I wanted to address the question, what is it like living life on easy mode as a tall man? All right, so for those of you who have never been to this channel, welcome. All right, I usually cover funny issues going on online, typically in Facebook groups that I find are humorous. So this is kind of a detour from the norm, and I will get right back to the norm here in just a moment. But I don't post often, and the reason is because of personal obligations. I hold a regular job, and I just don't really get on here that much. So when I do, it's great. I enjoy it. I love making online content. I don't know if I could do it for a living, though. I think it's a bit vain. Although I am self-absorbed to some extent, I don't think I'm that self-obsessed to the point where I want to make content every day. So to those of you guys that do that, more power to you. I hope you enjoy the living that you have working online and creating content and that sort of thing. So if I ever get rich, it will likely be the old-fashioned way of just working and saving and investing. That's pretty much how I plan on making it happen. But anyways, yeah, welcome. If this is your first time, I'm BP. And sorry, I had to remove the glasses so we can look each other in the eyes very intimately, right? So anyways, I don't know how to tell my life story without coming across as bragging or humble bragging. And that's not the point here. I think the point is to just explain what it's like being a tall man with access to a lot of women. And, what can you as a normal guy do to, I guess, achieve, similar results or to make your life better? So I wanted to make that the end goal here is to just, if this is encouraging to someone out there, I hope it helps you. And if it educates someone out there what it's like, I want you to know what it's like, So don't envy others. That's what I try to live that's how I try to live my life. You don't want to envy other people. There's a story about 12 brothers. The youngest brother, his name was Joseph, and his brothers, it's recorded that they envied him and sold him into slavery, and he ended up becoming the ruler of Egypt. Okay, I'm sure many of you have heard of the movie Prince of Egypt. Okay, it's based on that story from the Bible. Well, the point is, the lesson, the moral of the story here is to don't envy people, because for some reason they said, well, Joseph's the favorite. That's our father's favorite. Let's get rid of him. Let's kill him, right? They ended up selling him into Egypt as a slave. And guess what? The slave boy ended up becoming the prince and ruler of Egypt, saving millions of people from starvation. So the point is, you don't want to be jealous of other people's privilege. You don't, because you forget how blessed that you actually have it. I mean, when you really think about your own blessings, it's probably just as much, if not more, than the next guy. Like it's really there. Like, for instance, I know we look at rich people with nice houses, nice cars, and we think, oh my God, I wish I could have that, right? But the truth is they're still eating 3 meals a day just like you are, right? Now, I would assume if you're not eating the 3 meals a day that you personally enjoy, and those are your favorite foods, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So you should be focusing on improving that aspect of your life. But beyond that, I mean, they're just eating 3 meals a day and putting on their shoes and clothes just like you are. Everybody puts on their pants the same way every day. So do they really have it that much better than you? You got to really ask yourself that question and be grateful for what you have. How does that apply in the world of dating? Well, it applies in this way. Okay, maybe you can't get 100 women, but you could probably get one, right? I mean, I don't think, like, for example, in the dating world, in the manosphere, I feel like men often bash women quite frequently for their ability to garner resources, or at least garner men on a large number, on a large scale, right? They can get an army of simps. Okay, well, that's all fine and dandy. And typically men can't do that, in the reverse, but you could still get one, right? You can get one woman to simp over you. And what's wrong with that? So, a buddy of mine said to me the other day, he goes, man, Brian, I used to like you. I used to respect you, but now I hate you. And the reason I hate you is because you get so many women. And, and he's 5'8", 5'9". And I freely admit, yes, as someone who is tall, 6'6", I have been with 130. I mean, that's just a number. I lost count a long time ago. I just turned 39. So yeah, I've been with at least 130 women. And that's not because I shot for that or because I aimed for that number. I'm more of a relationship type of guy. So typically my interactions with women they go down like this. I'm going to give you a choice and you can take your pick. All right. Do you want to come straight to the house or do you want to meet in public? Right. If they want to come straight to the house, they come straight to the house. Right. If they want to meet in public first for safety reasons, then we go out in public. All right. And then after that, typically I like them. I don't really meet women I don't like. I like them all. I think they're all great. I don't care what race they are. Body type is not a big deal unless, they're obese. It's just kind of like, I think a lot of women are very attractive. I think a lot of them are great. So, it's on rare occasions that I find things I don't like with a woman and I'll reject her on that. So typically, we'll go out or she'll come over. All right. And then I'll schedule date number 2 or whatever. And usually if it does not continue on a long-term basis, it's because they chose not to, because I will give you a choice. Life is all about choices. You're given life or death. Pick. What do you want? Do you want success or failure? Do you want to get up today or stay in bed? And so I feel like that same principle applies to dating. You want to give people the choice. You want to give the girls a choice. Do you want this long term or not? Okay. And typically what I've found in my own personal research is that women are the ones that don't want long term. It is more often myself or the guy that does. I want to secure things long term. I want to hit it again and again and again. All right. I don't really think hitting it and quitting it is really best. So anyways, so I wanted to address the issue, what is it like being a tall guy with access to lots of women? And, I don't really think I'm much to be jealous of. I mean, I live in a very poor neighborhood. I live in a house with bars. I've made mistakes. I've been through 2 divorces. I've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in child support. I work an average job. There's really not much to brag about. I mean, I know on this channel, I kind of poke fun at that stuff, but in all reality, I do try to maintain a humble outlook on my own self in a self-reflecting way. So, to answer the question, what is it like? I'll tell you that, it is very, I guess, empowering. It is very enjoyable, to be able to have access to women of all sorts and shapes and sizes and colors and whatnot. No, any guy would like variety. Now, would I have gotten there if I was maybe not intelligent, of a low IQ? Probably not. Okay. Just because you're tall doesn't mean you have access to women. All right. You could be short. You could be as tall as Napoleon Bonaparte. And if you have a high IQ, know what you're doing, you can pull women. All right. So I don't think, I think height is not correlative to success with women, even though it is often, often you meet tall men that do have quite a variety of women, or they've been with a lot of women. And I think sometimes, yes, it does fall into your lap, and you just, there you go. All right, it's very easy. So I'm not gonna like downplay the struggle of shorter guys. I get it. I know a lot of guys out there who are less than 5'10", less than 6 feet tall, do have it a bit more difficult. So for that, I'm grateful. Hey man, I'll smash one for you too. Okay. But like I said, I think, realistically speaking, if you have a low IQ, all right, I think that is the problem, not height. Okay. And I think IQ is something you can work on and improve through education, self-education, reading books. If you're not an avid reader, you should be one. I mean, even if you read Wikipedia or just Google search everything, I mean, that's a form of reading that I think would help you to educate yourself. So, what's it like being a guy living life on easy mode? I'll say it's great. It's fantastic. But, and I think the point that my friend was trying to make was, I have to go home to my wife and kids every day. I don't get to do whatever the hell I want. You're basically a single guy or a bachelor. You can have different women, etc. I don't have access to my kids very often. Even though I'm supposed to be taking them to an Airbnb for a week with their mom in February. I had to basically bribe her to let me see my kids. But yeah, I just think self-education is the biggest component of it all. So, need to educate yourself. But I lost my train of thought, to be honest. I forgot where I was going with this. But, that's right. He was saying, you get to do things what you want. You get to do exactly what you want whenever you want. What's that like? And to be honest, man, you just have to get out there and allow life to happen. What do I mean by that? For example, I didn't plan on having 2 divorces. They just happened. Okay. So I think when life gives you problems, you just have to adapt to it. One of the most powerful characters in the DC universe is a character by the name of Amazo. And Amazo, his ability was to adapt. So no matter what the enemy threw at him, he was able to adapt and overcome it. And that's how he became so powerful. So, and that's a lesson for us, to be quite honest. If you go through things in adversity, you have to overcome it, adapt and overcome it in order to be more powerful. So, it's gain through loss, right? It's gain through loss. So I might have lost quite the family, quite the access to my kids and whatever else, but I couldn't control the choices of other people, right? I couldn't control that. But the gain was being free, right? So you lose things, but then you gain something else. So it's a trade-off. And so you have to take the trade-offs of life with a grain of salt and with some grace. So, and like I said, when you kind of take it on, all right, you take it on blunt force, and then you redirect that power in the opposite direction instead of just letting it defeat you. Then you can kind of overcome it, and then you can do whatever you want. So that's the thing. It's like, and I was telling my mother this, like, you have to be okay with the outcome, whatever the outcome is. Whether it's this or that, the negative or the positive, you have to be okay with it and to allow life to give you the outcome that it decides for you. And then you have to accept it. When you accept it, then you're able to be in a position of power. All right. For example, if you get married hoping that it'll last for a lifetime and it doesn't, it's okay if it doesn't work out, and be okay with the outcome because it's just more opportunity for something else. So that's the point. But life as a tall man, it is pretty good. It is pretty good. I mean, despite the not so favorable living conditions and favorable income and so forth, I would say life is really excellent. So no matter what cards you're dealt with in life, you just have to play the hand that you got and be okay with winning or losing. Losing is okay. Winning is okay. I mean, there's a Bible verse that says, what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So sometimes when you win something, you've actually lost. And when you've lost something, you've actually gained something. So that's what it is. You have to look at things for what they truly are, not what they appear to be. So as the old saying goes, money doesn't buy happiness, but however, it does help. And although height may not give you access to all women, it certainly helps. And I admit that. So, but if you don't have that, what works even more is having a high IQ. You have to study up on how to get what you want. If it's this kind of girl, you have to study on how to get her, and you have to execute what to do. You have to take that knowledge and execute it efficiently. So I don't want to make this too long. You guys have a great day. I'm PP signing out.